Welcome to the Shred the Spread podcast, your home for all of your NFL sports betting needs. I'm your host, Jared, and back for our Thursday night football breakdown of the New York Giants traveling to San Fran is my man. They're on the right hand. No, what's going on, brother?
What's good, family? What's good, Shred the Spread family? Another week, another Thursday night slate to get out the way. Unfortunately, this isn't going to be a appetizing Thursday night football game, but hey, let's take a crack at it.
All right, here we go. So in all likelihood, Deshaun Jackson's going to at least get a return. Deshaun Jackson gets a block. Are you kidding? Way downtown. Bang! Oh, what a shot from Curry! That is a disgusting act by Randy Moss.
This is going to be an interesting game. I think this is the one that we're gonna target some props. But hey, we're coming off a 4-1 week.
Hell yeah.
4-1. So we'll do our due diligence and do just a quick recap. Just because we don't do a recap episode, the beginning of these Thursday night episodes, we'll just quickly and briefly go over the previous week results. So it started off with the Seahawks. Plus 5.5 in the contest. Donnell and I both pointed out we would not be surprised if the Seahawks win. It got dicey. They went to overtime, and, obviously if the Lions scored first and they won, then we wouldn't have covered. So the Seahawks kind of blew the lead, but they were playing well. I trusted their offense more than their defense, but, they win 37-31. Cash the first one. Then we look at the Bills one. That was the close your eyes special. You watch the first quarter. Okay, the Raiders took a 7-0 lead, and you're like, shit, do I live bet this? But obviously, the Bills show they're the more superior team. They came out, and like Donnell, we both said it. Yeah. When the Bills win, they win big. That's why this 9.5 point spread did not phase us. We took it. They win 38-10. And then we go to probably the ugliest game, the ugliest game of the weekend, surprisingly, was the Chiefs and the Jaguars. I will say one thing. The Chiefs defense looks really good. And that's scary because if the offense is the part of the team that's struggling, I think that's the least of their concern because they obviously do have Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes. I think they have to work some kinks out. I think that team will be just fine. But the Chiefs do cover. We said it was the free square. We're going to play it every time the Chiefs are under a field goal. They win 17-9. We go to the Rams. What does Sean McVay do? Kicks the field goal with 4 seconds to cover the spread. That's why you play the number, folks. That's why you play the number, folks. That's why you just play the number. Because it makes sense if there's 7 seconds, you kick the field goal and go for the onside kick. But there's 4 seconds. I think McVay was just kind of like, if they get the Hail Mary, the game's over. If they kick the field goal, maybe they get 1 second. But regardless, we cover the spread. We love the backdoor covers. But the Rams played really good that game. They really did. They were in there. It was never out of grasp. We played it by the book and we got rewarded. So Rams plus 7.5 cashes. And then probably the game that we shouldn't have had hope at the end because it started off so bad, but the Giants minus 5.5. I'll admit that was probably one of the weirdest games to just have a play in. Right. In hindsight, we probably shouldn't have put this in. We knew this was kind of too good to be true. But you know what? We picked our spots. We'll take the 4-1 week, and we'll look to do that again because I'll tell you what, dude, we were a Giants average defensive performance away from 5-0.
I know.
So we're sitting in 300th out of 6,000-ish people.
That's pretty damn good.
I didn't tell you this yet, but a lot of people use their buy for week 2 for some reason. So we took a stand there. We went 4-1 on a week that apparently a lot of people thought was a little rough. We'll get into that in the preview episode. But for now, let's get into the Thursday night football. We've got the New York Giants traveling to San Francisco. Giants are 10.5 point underdogs on the road without Saquon Barkley. I've been rambling. I'll let you start us off, Dino. What do you like from this game?
I like everything that doesn't involve the Giants. Just about. I guess like my biggest place here is since we got Brandon Ayuk kind of going in and out. He's questionable. He's going to be a game time play. I did play some props on George Kittle receiving yards. I also did a prop as well with Brock Purdy getting around the 220, over the 224 passing yard mark. I feel like once again, this defense has struggled to find an identity. Stopping the pass has been a major concern. To watch that Arizona Cardinals offense drop 28 and get think about it, guys. They got to I think 21-0 lead at one point, probably even bigger than that. And that was with a quarterback who, granted, he got signed late into a lot of big games. He played for the Titans last year in the playoff game, one of us a signee, but he's like a makeshift quarterback, just kind of a throw in. And James Conner had success too, 106 rushing yards in that contest, man. I don't know about that defense, so I'm really high stock on the 49ers offense, specifically Kittle. I do, like I said, I do like Purdy as well. Also do the 2 touchdowns. I like him getting 2 touchdowns as well. Just load up. If you're gonna do props, man, and you can run predict this game, load up on the 49ers.
Yeah, so I was digging through some stuff, and I kind of was basically, when I go over these Thursday night games, I try to get in my head how the game plays out and how do I want to make that game script fit. The first one I was looking at, now there are these do differ book by book, but Brock Purdy completion sitting at 20.5. He's only hit that over in 3 of his career starts. So that's a little bit telling to me. Usually his line's at 18, 19, but it's at 20. So do I think the Niners take the lead early? Yes. Do I think they need to hold the lead? Do I think they'll ever be in risk of giving up the lead? No. So I do expect Purdy to not throw the ball that many times. Let's just say he does throw the ball 26 times. I see him going like 19 for 26. 18 for 25, somewhere around there. So I'm taking a shot on his under pass completions. But the one of my favorite props actually is Daniel Jones. And he's sitting at 39.5
rushing yards.
But this really isn't even a fact of, I think Daniel Jones is going to have design runs. I think this is going to be more of a fact of Daniel Jones running for his life, because this defensive line is going to be giving pressure on the outside. And he doesn't have Saquon Barkley to hand the ball off to or dump down. I really think this is going to be on Daniel Jones' shoulders. And you might see him take off a few more times. So instead of looking out in the flat, because he's going to have Matt Breida with him. Yeah. I don't really see how Daniel Jones doesn't take off 5, 6, 7 times this game, especially because the Giants want to win this game. They've already played really poorly against the Cowboys. They started off really slow versus the Cardinals. Granted, they won, but everybody else in the division is undefeated. They really need to try to steal a game from the Niners here. I don't see the Giants winning. I mean, the spread is 10.5. It went from 10 to 10.5 with the news of Saquon Barkley being out. So do with that what you will. The spread is still really high. Obviously, always chance for backdoor cover. But, I mean, Daniel Jones rushing yards, that one is really sticking out to me. Yeah. Here, Dino, let me try to sell you on this. So I was going over of what I think would happen. And, this line is actually going to, they're going to get to Daniel Jones quick. So help me out here. So obviously Saquon's not there for the dump down. I think he's going to have to get the ball out quickly. Would you target Darren Waller at his 48.5 yards, or would you target him for 4.5 receptions?
I would honestly target the yardage.
You like the yardage?
Yeah, I like the yardage. Now, granted, what's funny about it is I don't know why I didn't have my props in front of me. That's one of my plays. I have him actually at 40 plus receiving yards just to be safe. But nah, I like that 48.5. I feel like like I said, Daniel Jones got to get the ball out quick. Being able to utilize Darren Waller's speed down the field, you got to be able to get away from that front 8. And I think Darren Waller's your best choice to get away from that front 8. So I would actually take receiving yards there. Yeah. So okay, I definitely feel like Darren Waller is going to be he's going to be key to this offense. He looked good last week. Seriously, he did. He did look good versus it's the Cardinals. So, I mean, maybe you're right. Obviously, Fred Warner's patrolling the middle. Maybe he doesn't get that many catches, but obviously, Darren Waller's, he's got some speed for a tight end for his size. So, 48 yards, that saves you from if he gets 3 receptions for 50 yards, So, I mean, I think I like that angle. I think you're right. But, dude, you said it earlier. You nailed it. I think Kittle has a game here. Yeah, Kittle, I think Kittle has a game. The middle of this this defense for the Giants is really, really rough. It's just everybody runs down. I mean, you saw Zach Ertz he's had like, I think the second most targets in the game last week or something. Like, and these were really open targets. These were targets that you would make the read if it was anybody else because he was just running down the seam of the field. I mean, really like effortlessly. So do I think this Giants defense is going to be able to stop the Niners from any aspect in the game? No, but obviously the weak spot right here has got to be the middle of this defense. But I think the other prop I was really looking at that is this Christian McCaffrey rushing yards. That's free. It doesn't make sense. Like I see they adjusted this number by 14 yards, but why is this still like this number should be like 86?
in my opinion. Like we're sitting at, it's been creeping up. It was 74, then was 77. Now it's sitting at 79. I still don't think that's enough. For those of you guys who do same game parlays and they have the risk-free ones on DraftKings, it's a little juicy, but Christian McCaffrey, 60 yards. It's only minus 240. For a parlay piece, you can live it. Obviously not a straight bet, but I mean, he'll probably have that at halftime. That offensive line is so stout. It's almost like he breaks a tackle every single play. The dude's hard. He's tough as shit. He's hard to break down. So I like the rushing prop just from the angle of I think the Niners had the lead and Brock Purdy's not going to be forced to throw the ball. So I do like that McCaffrey rushing prop a lot. And I think the number is it's still really low for some weird reason.
Let me say this, Jared. Let me say this to you, bro. If it makes you feel any better. Now, like I said, this is kind of like a shot in the dark out there. You're thinking someone's going to have a dominant game. Like, honestly, I got a ticket right now where he has 125 rushing yards. This is an alternate, just to play it.
And you wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah, exactly. Add 2 touchdowns with that. You're not shocked at all against the Giants defense.
We like the Darren Waller receiving yards. I'm really high. I think both our probably favorite prop is probably the McCaffrey rushing, I'd say.
Other than McCaffrey.
So McCaffrey rushing, I think we both like Daniel Jones rushing just from the viewpoint that he'll be running for his life. Yeah, Kittle, Waller, McCaffrey, Daniel Jones. I saw what you sent me earlier with a receiving prop. A little cheeky. I saw what you threw in.
Yeah, right? You're talking about Isaiah Hodgins, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice little under. A lot of people don't understand, too, what a lot of these Thursday night, Sunday night games, a lot of the game plan is towards, like, the main focus. Of course, Darren Waller's going to be the main focus. Isaiah Hodgins is a very sneaky slot receiver. He can kind of just, sneak behind the defense, get about a 15-yard here, a 20-yard catch there. He's going to be very sneaky. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets to the... Well... Honestly, I don't believe the Giants will get to the end zone, to be 100% honest with you, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's one of those, like Jared McKinnon of the Chiefs. You get one touchdown out of a catch out of the backfield or something like that.
Gotcha. Yeah, obviously, if all the focus is going to be on Waller, that's going to open up other players on the field, and I think Hodgins definitely is a sneaky downfield threat. He's like a poor man's Gabe Davis, if you will.
Right.
Okay, so we haven't done this on a Thursday night episode, but collectively, let's come up with 2 of our favorite first touchdown scorer long shots.
Ooh,
so obviously McCaffrey's chalk, Debo's chalk. Kittle surprisingly is 10-1. So let's do this. We both I think there's a higher chance that the Niners score first.
Right.
So let's take 2 Niners props and 1 Giants prop just in case. So talk to me. What's I think I have one from the Niners that is it's a little juicy, but it could definitely happen. But I think I'll just go ahead and give up my Niners one first. Brock Purdy, first touchdown.
Ooh.
21-1.
Okay. I like that.
I think he just had a rushing touchdown last week, if I remember correctly.
Did he? Yeah. I believe he did.
So, I think his rushing yards prop was set like 8.5, 9.5. I wouldn't be shocked if he goes over on that just because he does tend to take off in situations where the field is wide open. And he does slide, so that's good. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he got one last week. Let me just double check. Brock Purdy rushing. Yes, he did have a touchdown. So Brock Purdy, 3 carries for 5 yards. So he did take off a couple times, but he did get a touchdown. So Brock Purdy, 21-1. What Niners prop were you thinking?
Another Niners prop I would actually give you. Now this is going to be quite. Now I want you to. It's going to be like a reach, like a very big reach. How about, right? And I was looking through it. I'm going past it. Something like I'm fighting between 2 players now.
Same both.
All right, Jawan Jennings at 19-1 and Ray McLeod at 29-1. And the reason why I say those 2, my producer put a nice little comment there. I actually like that one too. I'll say that out loud in a second. But I say these 2 only because of deep threats. We know Ray McLeod and Wan'Dale Robinson as deep threats. I feel like the Giants defense is very, very susceptible to big plays. So you might have, say Ayuk is out. Now you have Debo on the outside. You have Kittle on the inside at tight end. Then you might who would you throw at the other wide receiver spot? Jennings maybe? Or would you throw, maybe I'm forgetting about somebody. No?
I don't think you are.
Yeah, exactly. I'm right. If you're without, think about it, because the odds right now are stacked against it because we don't know if Ayuk is playing. But if Ayuk isn't playing, you now have either Jawan Jennings and Wan'Dale Robinson at potential wide receiver 3 spots. And you telling me they can't burn one for deep first? Think about it. First play of the game. Thursday night football. Started off with dominance. Come on, man. For the odds, it'd be 29-1 for Ray and 19-1 for Jawan Jennings.
Yeah, those odds they're definitely juicy.
Juicy.
I will say, obviously, I think the long shots are going to be a little bit more, keen to the Niners, just because I think they're going to have more opportunity for these second, third string guys to play.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if you take a Giants side, it's got to be Daniel Jones.
Right. You my dog for a reason.
It's 13-1, and it's really only that high because the odds of them scoring the first touchdown below. But I mean, I would not be surprised if the Giants go out there, get the ball first, and score first drive of the game, and then get shut down for the rest of the game.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised. So 13-1 on Daniel Jones. I like that. But our producer, we're gonna throw his long shot in there. Kyle Juszczyk, 42-1. You are greasy, my friend. You are greasy.
I mean,
obviously shop around and get the best odds, but I'm sure you could. It's somewhere in the 40s, which is unfreaking real. He's out there in those, and this would be the time where you would see him in the game versus like a Giants team where they're big favorites, or if they get up, or if they go right downfield, maybe 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, they throw the big dog in there. So that's definitely a good find. I like that Kyle Juszczyk, 42-1, 45-1, whatever you got. Honestly, any of these Niners long shots, you sprinkle, quarter unit, fifth of a unit, whatever you want to do on there, and if it comes through, then you look at a nice payday. Obviously, we're all going to be, pissed off because we know that Christian McCaffrey more than likely is going to be the guy who just finds the hole and runs in. But you never know. These Thursday night football, you gotta spice it up. It's the only game on the slate, so I'm willing to take my odds on that on a couple of those long shots on the Niners.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have any other last minute props or last thing that we missed that you might want to get off your chest before we get out of here?
I guess I'll throw this last one in there. One thing I saw on FanDuel when I went out there earlier today was it was like one of those specials, and it was basically the 49ers to record 5 sacks versus the Giants. That's at plus 250. So I'm thinking, 5 sacks and
250?
250 plus 250.
Interesting.
That's that's a nice little special find I found. I said, that's very interesting. That Giants O-line is trash. Daniel Jones gonna be running for his life most of the time. And hey, man, Hargrave, Bosa. I mean, who else am I missing? I know I'm missing somebody.
Oh, my boy
Armstead.
Boy. Oh yeah.
No, Armstead still there? No, Armstead is still there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yep. Armstead.
I'm pretty sure.
Trust me, them boys. All you need to know is them boys are about to get after it. So I definitely put a nice little sprinkle there.
That's a solid one. So Niners going to get to the quarterback, and that plays into our Daniel Jones rushing prop narrative.
Right.
So I think it all ties together. So we're gonna get out of here. We're gonna start looking over this slate for the new week of the contest. 4-1 last week. We're going to look to do the same, if not better. For those of you who want to keep up with the podcast, you can follow us on Twitter at @ShredTheSpread_. And then if you're into TikTok, you can follow us on TikTok at @ShredTheSpread. But Dino and I are going to start getting busy on this next slate. We're going to get back. We got to go get our shovels out of the closet and start digging again. So
start digging again.
Yeah, we're going to get out of here. Thanks again for listening to the Shred the Spread podcast. This has been the Thursday night football for the Giants and the 49ers. Until next time, we'll see you.
Peace.